Hey y'all, Lee Bratcher, President of Texas Blockchain Council. I'm here with Shawn Collins, congressional candidate in California in Orange County.
That's right.
And we are here in the drawing board in Dallas, Texas, talking about entrepreneurship, talking about Shawn, his background, upbringing here in Dallas.
Yep, resident of Dallas, Texas.
Entrepreneurship, technology, blockchain, all these things. So I hope you enjoyed this quick conversation with Shawn, and then obviously check the links out in the show notes to find out more information about him. But Shawn, tell the audience a little bit about your background, where you grew up, how did you get to where you are today when you're running for Congress?
Yeah, so thanks, Lee, first of all, for having me here. I am currently a resident of Orange County, California. I absolutely love Orange County, California. It is the most beautiful place in the world, but I did grow up here in Dallas. I was born and raised here in Dallas, the Oak Cliff area of Dallas. I went to St. Elizabeth Elementary School, Bishop Dunn High School, and Bishop Lynch High School for my last 2 years of high school. So it's been great being back here in Dallas, getting back to my roots. But really enjoying being here at the Texas Blockchain. You and I connected a few weeks back.
Yeah.
But it's really great to be with you here in person.
So tell the audience a little bit about why entrepreneurship and technology is such a big part of your platform and what you're talking about with your constituents, and then even when you're traveling around the country.
Yeah, so a big part of my platform, one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress is I want to be an agent for change as with respect to our economy. The economy is a big part of my platform, and in particular the economy from the standpoint of inflation. So we're in a time, I'm running as a Republican candidate out in Orange County, California, but inflation is an important issue because right now you have the Democrats that are pushing through a lot of spending through Congress. And I know there's been a lot of debate and rhetoric about that, but the problem with the $3.5 trillion in spending that they're pushing through is that when you spend $3.5 trillion, you inherently devalue the money that people already have in their savings, which is why things like blockchain become more attractive alternatives. And so I'm very passionate about blockchain. I'm very passionate about cryptocurrencies because I think that they are the way of the future. I think they are terms that our young people need to become literate about, which is why I'm a big proponent of financial literacy. I think financial literacy needs to be baked into our educational curriculum. You talk about how do you reform education systems. I think you need to start with teaching children about blockchain technologies, teaching children about financial literacy, entrepreneurship. These are terms that need to become household and kindergarten curriculum, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Because here's the thing, entrepreneurship, blockchain, cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are things that can be great equalizers. We're living through a time where we talk about there's a debate going on amongst politicians about how do you implement change, how do you equalize things, how do you level the playing field for disenfranchised communities. I think you have a ready-made solution with technology.
Yeah.
You know, I look at Nas, one of the rappers who was one of the biggest investors in Coinbase. I listen to hip-hop music. I'm a big fan of hip-hop music. I grew up listening to hip-hop music. Hip-hop artists are talking about investing in digital currencies, blockchain, cryptocurrency. So you have a captive audience right now in young people of all ages, all ethnicities, all religions. Again, we have a ready-made solution for how to equalize the playing field. We just have to be willing to embrace it. And that's why I love what you're doing, because you are leading the charge in terms of bringing these types of technologies. You're starting the dialogue about digital currency, crypto, blockchain, and I love what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate it. And I think your message is going to resonate with this, the community, the blockchain and Bitcoin community, because there is a growing realization that the increase in the money supply, especially what we've seen in the last 24 months, is unprecedented. We are experiencing inflation like we haven't experienced since the 1970s and 1980s. And you know, with Bitcoin being capped at 21 million, there's digital scarcity that exists within the blockchain and Bitcoin ecosystem. And there's just something to that Austrian economics way of looking at an economy where you have sound money and there's just an integrity within within commerce that has existed with the US dollar in the past decades, but we're starting to slip away from that. And they're starting to become this almost theft through inflation, even though it's a slow, it's not the kind of theft that we think of when we think of theft, but it is a slow form of taxation or theft.
Absolutely.
Through inflation that is really unsustainable. And I completely disagree with the modern monetary theorists when they think that we can just print our way, because the US dollar is the world reserve currency, that we can print our way to financial freedom. We're really just putting ourselves in a hole and making it more likely for the digital yuan or the euro to become the world's reserve currency, which is very concerning.
Absolutely.
For me. So just in parting, give our viewers some thoughts about where they can find you, how they can connect with you, maybe some last thoughts on technology and entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So thanks, Lee. So first of all, you can find out more about me at my website. It's ShawnCollinsForCA.com. Again, that's ShawnCollinsForCA.com. That's my website. And that's where you can find out more about my platform and what I want to do, the things I want to get done once I get into Congress. But I'll part with, you said something that's very important. You said a word, integrity. It's a word that I value so much, integrity in all aspects of my life, but in particular as it pertains to blockchain and your monetary policy, integrity and the dollar. So here's the thing, you hear a lot of political rhetoric between Republicans and Democrats about monetary policy. It really boils down to people work hard for the money that they earn. All across America, people are working their butts off to earn every single dollar that goes into their pocket. And our government owes them the duty of making sure that that dollar retains its value. That is your number one duty as an elected official in the United States of America, whether you're a congressional person, whether you're a Senate member, whether you're the President of the United States, or if you're just a local elected official. It is your number one duty to make sure that the money that people work for, that it retains its value. And right now, we're living through a period of unprecedented inflation. You're absolutely right. Now, I think that politicians don't do a good job of talking about what inflation is. What is inflation? You'll know inflation when you see it. When you show up to your gas pump and you're paying more money for gas than you paid last week, that's inflation. When you go pay for the exact same groceries that you bought last week and it's $50 more for that same set of groceries, that's inflation. When you go to buy any common item at the grocery store and it costs more than it did last week, that's inflation. When you go to pay more for a car than it was last week, that's inflation. It impacts every aspect of your life. And where the frustration comes from voters, from the hard-working citizens of America, is when they're out there working their butts off from sun up to sundown, and they don't have the purchasing power that they thought they were going to have when they made that purchase.
So true.
And so I will always be an advocate for fiscally conservative government. Because like I say, it is my number one duty as an elected official, it is the number one duty of any other elected official, to make sure that every dollar earned by an American citizen retains its value. Now that's one of the things that I think is so compelling about cryptocurrency. To your point, with Bitcoin, there's only 21 million of them out there. You know that it's going to retain its value. We have to, as a government, start looking at cryptocurrencies as an attractive alternative to maintaining the integrity of our monetary system, the integrity of our financial system. Because here's the concerning thing. If people can't be confident that every dollar that they go out and work for and work hard to earn is going to retain its value, they're going to lose confidence in their government. They're going to lose confidence in their monetary system. And that's something that none of us want, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or independent. We all want to know that our blood, sweat, and tears that we pour into our work and the money that we earn for it is actually going to reap the benefits that we set out for it to reap. So again, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing, for beating the drum for blockchain, for cryptocurrencies, and more importantly, for entrepreneurship. Like I say, I think entrepreneurship is something that needs to be talked about more. I didn't start hearing the word entrepreneur until I was a student at Rice University in Houston, Texas. I was almost 20 years old when I started hearing that term. And it shouldn't be that way, especially in the era that we're in. We're about to enter a world where cars are going to drive themselves. where space travel is something that's as common as getting on a plane and flying to New York. Okay? Our children need to be thinking like that. Because let me tell you, Chinese children are thinking like that.
Yeah.
Chinese children are thinking about 5G and 6G and 7G. We need to start thinking about 5G, 6G, 7G, blockchains, cryptocurrencies, entrepreneurship. And like I say, I think that needs to start at the kindergarten level. When we talk about how we reform education, that's how we do it. You start to reform education at that level, you make blockchain, cryptocurrency, entrepreneurship, universal languages. That's how you start to level the playing field in America.
I love it. Shawn, thanks for being with us.
Lee, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Guys, you can follow Shawn at the links that he mentioned, but we're also going to put them here in the video so that you can get connected with him. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.